You know that moment when you walk into a room and feel uneasy? Like something's just off, but you can't explain why. What if I told you there's a simple method that fixes that? Every time, the 5-zone method is the secret to creating a balanced, functional, and stylish space every time. Whether you're redesigning your living room, bedroom, or even a kitchen, this method will help you organize your space in a way that makes it feel both beautiful and practical. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to use the 5-zone method to design rooms that truly work for you. Let's dive in. 1. The anchor zone, where everything starts. The anchor zone is the foundation of any room. It's the key piece that everything else revolves around. This is where you start when you design a room. Think of it like the main character in a movie. It's what grabs your attention and sets the mood for the entire space. In your living room, the anchor zone is usually the sofa or coffee table. In a bedroom, it's your bed. This zone tells you the room's purpose and function. Having a strong anchor zone is crucial. Without it, the room can feel scattered or unbalanced. It's like trying to build a house without a solid foundation. But when the anchor zone is in place, everything flows better. It gives the room a sense of order and structure. It helps you know where to add the other pieces. When setting up the anchor zone, think about how you want people to move and feel in the space. If it's your living room, position your sofa so it faces inward, not against the wall. This invites conversation and creates a cozy, welcoming atmosphere. If it's a bedroom, your bed should be the first thing you see when you walk in. Make it the focal point. The room should flow around it. Here's a tip: keep your anchor zone simple. Don't overstuff it with too many pieces. A cluttered anchor zone can make the room feel cramped and chaotic. The goal is balance, not overcrowding. By focusing on one central piece, you allow the rest of the room to feel more open and organized. So, now that we've set up the anchor zone, we're ready to move on to the next key part, the conversation zone. This is where the magic happens in terms of interaction and flow. It's the zone where you connect with others, so let's dive into how to get it right. 2. The conversation zone, where connections happen. Now that we have the anchor zone in place, let's talk about the conversation zone. This is the space where people gather, talk, and connect. It's where your guests will sit and chat, or where you and your family relax together. This zone is all about interaction. Without it, a room can feel disconnected or lonely, even if it has beautiful furniture. Creating a great conversation zone starts with seating. The goal is to create a cozy space that invites people to talk. In your living room, this could mean arranging chairs, sofas, or even a couple of ottomans so they face each other. Think about creating a circle or semicircle of seating. This encourages natural conversation, instead of making people face away from each other. It's all about making the space feel welcoming and open. A good rule to follow is to keep the seating close enough so people can easily talk, but not too close that it feels crowded. Aim for about 3 to 4 feet between chairs or couches. This gives everyone enough space to move comfortably while keeping the feeling of connection. You can also add some key items to your conversation zone to make it feel more inviting. A small coffee table or side table is a great addition. It gives people a place to set their drinks, snacks, or books. Plus, it ties the seating together, making the space feel more complete. Remember, the conversation zone isn't just for socializing with others. It can also be your personal space for reading, relaxing, or enjoying a cup of coffee. The important thing is that this zone makes people feel comfortable and connected, whether they're alone or with others. Now that we've got the conversation zone set up, let's move to the next one, the flow zone. This is the space that makes everything feel like it's meant to be. It's all about how people move through the room. Stick with me. This is where things get really interesting. 3. The flow zone, making movement feel natural. Next up is the flow zone. This is the space where people move around in your room. It's all about how easy and smooth it feels to walk from one part of the room to another. Without a good flow zone, the room can feel cramped, messy, or uncomfortable. You know that feeling when you try to walk through a room and keep bumping into things? That's a bad flow. But when the flow is just right, you feel like the room welcomes your movement. To create a good flow zone, you need to plan your walkways carefully. Aim to leave about 2.5 to 3 feet of space between furniture so people can easily pass through. For example, if you have a sofa, make sure there's enough room for people to walk in front of it without feeling like they're squeezing by. This makes the room feel more open and spacious, even if it's not a big area. Think about the path people take when they enter the room. There should be a clear way to get from one zone to another without obstacles. For example, in a living room, make sure there's a clear path between the seating area and any other key areas like the TV or the door to the kitchen. In a bedroom, you should have enough room to move from the bed to the closet or bathroom comfortably. Also, keep in mind that flow isn't just about space, it's about how things feel. The room should feel like it makes sense. For example, in a dining room, the table should be close enough to the kitchen to make serving meals easy, but not so close that it blocks movement. The same goes for other rooms. Make sure the furniture doesn't block natural walking paths or make the space feel tight. Once the flow zone is set up, the room will start to feel easier to live in. It won't feel like you have to dodge things when you move around. Now that the flow is right, let's move to the next zone, the utility zone. This is the behind-the-scenes part that makes everything work smoothly. Stay with me. We're getting closer to creating a space that's not just beautiful, but functional too. 4. The utility zone, where function meets design. Now that we have the flow zone set up, let's dive into the utility zone. This zone is all about making sure your room works well for your daily needs. It's where everything you need for the room's purpose is kept, like storage, appliances, or any functional items that help the space run smoothly. Think of it as the behind-the-scenes part of your room. You might not notice it at first glance, but without it, the room wouldn't be as useful. In your living room, the utility zone could include things like shelves, cabinets, or storage bins where you keep extra blankets, books, or electronics. In a kitchen, it might be the cabinets where you store utensils, or the pantry where you keep your food. In a bedroom, it could be your closet or a dresser where you keep your clothes and personal items. This zone needs to be practical. Everything should have a place. When setting up your utility zone, think about how often you use certain items. For example, in the kitchen, keep frequently used utensils near the cooking area. In a living room, store remote controls, chargers, and other items near your seating area, so you're not constantly getting up to grab them. The goal is to make your daily life easier by keeping everything within reach and organized. But here's the catch. Just because the utility zone is all about function, doesn't mean it has to be boring. You can still make it look good. Use stylish baskets or storage boxes to keep things neat. Choose shelves or cabinets that match the room's overall style. The utility zone should blend in, but also be easy to access. When you open a cabinet or drawer, it should feel satisfying, not chaotic. With the utility zone in place, your room will not only look great, but it will also serve you better. Everything will be in its right place, making life simpler. Now, let's move to the final zone, the style zone. This is where you add your personal touch and bring the entire room to life. 5. The style zone, adding personality and flair. Now that we've set up the practical zones, it's time for the fun part, the style zone. This is where your personality shines through. The style zone is all about the finishing touches that make your room feel like you. It's where you add color, art, textures, and all those little details that make a space feel special. Think of it as the icing on the cake. While the other zones help your room function, the style zone makes it feel amazing. In the style zone, you get to choose the things that make the room look beautiful and interesting. You can add colorful throw pillows to your sofa, hang artwork on the walls, or place plants in every corner. Don't forget about lighting. A beautiful lamp or pendant light can completely change the mood of a room. Even small touches, like decorative trays or vases, can bring a room to life. One of the best things about the style zone is that it allows you to express yourself. If you love bold colors, go for bright pillows or a statement rug. If you prefer calm and neutral tones, add soft textures like cozy blankets and simple art. Your style zone should reflect your taste and create an atmosphere that feels comfortable and inviting. But here's a tip: don't overdo it. While it's tempting to fill every inch with decorations, a few well-chosen items can have a much bigger impact than clutter. Choose pieces that complement each other and work well with the rest of the room. For example, if you have a modern living room with clean lines, a few statement pieces of art or a sleek lamp will add the perfect touch of style. Once you've completed your style zone, your room will feel complete. It will have personality, warmth, and that special touch that makes it feel like home. Now, let's move on to the next zone, the balance zone. This is where we bring everything together and make sure all the zones work perfectly together. Stay with me, we're almost there. The balance zone, bringing everything together. We've made it to the final zone, the balance zone. This is the key to making sure everything in your room works together smoothly. The balance zone is all about creating harmony between all the other zones we've set up. It's what makes the room feel complete, balanced, and comfortable. Without balance, even the most beautiful rooms can feel off or chaotic. So, what does balance mean in a room? It's about how the furniture, colors, and accessories are arranged. For example, if you have a large sofa on one side of the room, balance it out with a chair or table on the other side. You want to make sure that no area feels too heavy or too empty. A balanced room feels calm and inviting, because everything is evenly spaced and properly aligned. One way to achieve balance is by using symmetry. This doesn't mean everything needs to be identical, but having items on each side of the room that are similar in size or shape can create a sense of order. For instance, place 2 matching lamps on either side of the sofa or hang artwork in pairs. Symmetry is easy to achieve and creates a visually appealing effect. Another way to create balance is through visual weight. Visual weight refers to how heavy or light an object looks in a space. Large, dark-colored furniture can feel heavy, while lighter, smaller pieces create a more open feeling. To balance a heavy item, add something lighter on the opposite side, like a light-colored rug or a delicate vase. This trick helps keep the room from feeling too crowded or unbalanced. Balance also involves thinking about how colors and textures work together. If you have bold colors in one zone, you might want to balance them with softer tones elsewhere. The same goes for textures. Mixing soft, plush fabrics with sleek, hard surfaces helps create contrast and keeps the room from feeling too one-dimensional. When you get the balance right, everything in the room will feel connected. It will look effortless, like all the zones were meant to fit together. Now that you know how to balance your space, we're ready to wrap everything up. In the next part, we'll review how the 5-zone method can completely change how you design any room. Don't go anywhere, we're almost done. Bringing it all together, the power of the 5-zone method. By now, you know how each of the 5 zones works to make your room both beautiful and functional. But the real magic happens when you bring them all together. The 5-zone method is more than just a set of rules. It's a way to think about your space, creating rooms that are not only stylish but also practical. When you combine all 5 zones, the anchor zone, the conversation zone, the flow zone, the utility zone, and the style zone, you get a room that works in harmony. It's a space where every piece of furniture, every decoration, and every path through the room has a purpose. No zone is overcrowded or forgotten. Instead, they all work together to create a balanced, inviting, and functional environment. Remember, designing a room isn't just about making it look good. It's about creating a space that you enjoy living in. The 5-zone method ensures that your room feels comfortable, organized, and welcoming. Whether you're designing a small bedroom or a large living room, this method helps you focus on the important elements while also making sure your personal style shines through. The beauty of this method is that it can be applied to any room, in any size, for any purpose. Whether you're rethinking your living room, upgrading your office, or transforming your kitchen, the 5-zone method gives you a solid framework to follow. You don't have to start from scratch every time. By simply understanding how to divide your room into these 5 zones, you'll have a roadmap to guide you in creating a well-designed space. Now, think back to the first time you looked at your room. Maybe it felt cluttered, disconnected, or just not quite right. But now, after following the 5-zone method, your room is more organized, balanced, and full of purpose. You've created a space that works for you, not just for show. And the best part? You can apply this method to any room, whether you're designing a living room, bedroom, kitchen, or even a bathroom. The 5-zone method isn't just a design trend, it's a timeless approach to creating spaces that feel good and work well. So, there you have it, the 5-zone method. It's simple, it's smart, and it works in every room. Let's quickly go over it one more time. Anchor zone, the main piece that sets the mood. Conversation zone, where people connect and talk. Flow zone, keeps movement easy and smooth. Utility zone, makes life easier with smart storage. Style zone, adds your personal touch. And finally, balance zone, brings it all together. When all these zones work together, your room feels right. It looks good. It flows well. It works for you, not against you. So next time you're setting up a room, don't just guess. Use the 5-zone method and design with confidence. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more easy design tips. Your dream space is just a few zones away. See you in the next one.